Hey artists, welcome back. This is part 2, our second video starting the album cover project and getting used to Photopea. All right, so first thing, we need to clean all the images we've procured. Now, you want to take photos of yourself for the portrait that's necessary in the image. You got to have your face somewhere in this. But you also need a bunch of other layers and images that you're cobbling together to create a new one, right? Now, hopefully you've planned your project on your worksheet. Well, now let's get the images to make that project concept a reality. All right. So first thing, I'm going to minimize Photopea. Well, there's Photoshop looking exactly like Photopea because they're basically cousins. Now let's go to these images. I have pictures of myself at stools, which I'll fashion into a turntable as I play DJ. And I've got a brick wall to put behind me. I can just grab these images once I've saved them, drag them to Photopea. And then if I let it go here, it'll just jump right into the image that I've already got open, all right? And then I can free transform it and match it. Or what I can do is click drag and instead deposit it on this tab bar. You can see it preserves each image. Here's where we're headed, here's where we're starting. But to then bring this little guy over into this image and start stacking those pictures so I can work with them and reorganize them, I need to accustom myself with a toolbar here. And the first thing on the very top is the move tool. So when I go to this layer I just brought in, this image, I click and I hold, still holding, I pull it up and I drag it. And you can see now it's entered this new tab. When I release, it's now part of this image and the layer has been added, right? I can turn the eyes off if I just want to focus on one thing at a time, like my brick wall. And now you're likely going to have to start transforming things too. Now, remember, before we start cobbling all these together, know that we want to make certain we've got the right template and we want a perfect square. Industry standard for any project, any graphic design project especially, is 300. 300 resolution is a nice, robust DPI, right? It's going to be clear enough and have high enough quality. What you want to avoid is the default of, say, like 72 or 150. So I make certain I'm at 300 resolution, and then we want to make certain that we're working with inches for our dimension, not pixels. We're measuring in inches. And let's just go to, say, 12 by 12. The important thing is that it's a square. Like any album cover, it's a perfect square, right? So now, same thing. Let's go to our layers, click, we've got the move tool selected, click hold, drag it over, drop, turn the eye off. Here's our other image. I'm gonna select it, click with the move tool, hold down, drag it up, let it shift at that, and then release. So now I've got 3 things, my background and my 2 layers, right? So I'm gonna want this brick wall to form the entire background of my album. So I'm gonna go to Edit, Free Transform. Now, if you just jump right into distorting it, you can stretch it. In this case, I can crush the blocks, those bricks, but I wanna keep the same proportions. I just wanna change the scale. So before I start shifting, playing around with it or manipulating it like dough, I'm going to hold shift. Then I pull it. So it changes the scale, but not the shape. And that's very important. All right. So now let's move it over. I'm going to bring it. Now I will warp it just a little bit. I want it to just meet those sides because I like that kind of shadow on the edges there. I confirm by clicking the move tool again. And bam, we've got one layer. Next is me, and I'm going to size me, going to Edit, Free Transform. I hold Shift and I pull it down. I'm going to size myself a little better here because I want my arms to pretty much fit, okay? All right, so that's the Move tool and the Free Transform tool so that you can manipulate your layers and shapes once you get them in there. Next video, let's talk about how we clean them up for further processing, adjustments, and even more advanced features. All right? Happy editing.